Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Smith, the editor of PHC News Magazine. We're coming to you live from the AHR Expo. It's good to be back. It's been 2 long years that we were able to get back together, and the show literally is just open now. I can see a lot of people out and about in the aisles, and what we're doing today and tomorrow at our booth here at AHR Expo is a series of live interviews with a number of exhibitors and, well, people from the industry, really. And our first guest is Dennis Stinson, Vice President of Sales at Fujitsu General America, Inc. Dennis, thanks for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here, and thank you for letting us kick off this series of conversations you have.
You are the very first. You got to start somewhere.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for choosing us.
Well, Dennis, tell us a little bit about yourself. What keeps you busy at Fujitsu? How long you been in the PHC community?
Well, like most people in the PHCC side of the world, I came into it from family. So my family was a manufacturer's representative out of the Mid-Atlantic market. For many, many years, I got into the rep business, was doing that for about 30 years, and then I had the opportunity to join Fujitsu, just a fantastic company, and worked my way up to Vice President of Sales, so just a great organization that we have. I
think before we went live, we were talking, I think you said you were at Fujitsu for 6 years, yeah?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And so you're obviously exhibiting it here at the Expo. Can you tell us what we might see at your booth?
Yeah, so we're glad to be back. We're glad to be back in front of our partners and being able to show our product. Absolutely. And at Fujitsu, we have really 4 main product lines. What we have is we have our Halcyon product line, which is our ductless heat pump line, and that is our flagship product offering. And that's going to give us mini splits in single zone and multi-zone from 9,000 BTU up to 45,000 BTU. In addition to that, we also have our AirStage product line, and that's our VRF, our variable refrigerant flow product line. And we have that available in really 2 series. A J series is our single phase VRF, and that's going to be 3 through 8 ton. And then we also have our 3-phase product, which is our vertical draw through product. And we're introducing some new product here. So we have 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16 ton product, and we can marry that together for up to 36 ton capabilities. So we're pretty excited about the addition of that product line and how that product line is going to continue to grow and expand for us. And then our 4th, and certainly not our least product offering, is our unitary product offering. So we've partnered with a world-renowned manufacturer. We're bringing that product to market under the Fujitsu product name. We're in about our 4th year with that now, and it's going very, very well. So we've had 4 product lines here, and we have all 4 of those, and each one of those have something new and unique that we're able to showcase here and get back to in-person conversations.
So 4 lines, but is there one maybe that is more newer than others, or maybe more growth potential than some of the others?
Well, it's interesting you say that. So we see what's happening in the ductless side of the business. We see that the ductless market in and of itself continues to grow by double digits. Now, the last couple of years, everything grew by a couple of double digits, but ductless over the course of time has consistently outpaced what our industry has done. And the future for that continues to be there. What we're seeing on the ductless side of the business is an expansion of that product line. So not only in capacity and sizes, but also in ranges. So we have product that will operate to full capacity down to minus 15 degrees. So our partnerships north of the Mason-Dixon, if you will, we're 100% sole source home comfort to be able to do that. But then we also look at the expansion of the low ambient product. So that gives us the opportunity to offer cooling in some commercial applications, server rooms. So as we look at the product line, when we started, as our industry started many years ago, it was spot heating and cooling, and we were chill chasers. Now we are fully operational, full capacity heat pumps, being able to perform from minus 15 degrees all the way up through 95 degrees. Okay. So it's exciting.
Good, good. And I know, again, when we talked before we went on live, you've got a ductless product, which it's not new, but it's kind of new sounding to me, at least.
Yeah,
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for asking about that. We like to say that because everybody has the same reaction. Right. So what is a ducted ductless?
Well,
and it starts a great conversation. So what we know is that when we start looking at whole home solutions, when we start looking at heating and cooling capacities in the range that we now have, we now also have to take a look at what that insulation envelope looks like. So it may not be practical to mount a wall mount unit or a cassette or a floor mount in each and every room. So maybe some of those rooms we need to capture with one unit at a modest level of ductwork. So in the Halcyon product line, we have a slim duct, which will give us 0.36 static, so I'll be able to take care of a couple of rooms.
Okay.
I've got a medium static that'll take me up to 0.8, so I can capture more rooms with it. And then I also have a fully functional multi-position air handler that would replace a traditional air handler in ductwork. So now from a horizontal draw-through inverter-driven condensing unit, I can go from a lower static to a medium static to a high static and capture those individual rooms and still offer that zoning that multi-zones and ductless is known for. So it's an exciting product line.
Good, good. Well, it sounds like you got a lot of good products that we'll all see at your booth. But let's talk about the markets and the applications, I guess. I know your residential and commercial is there good things for each of those, or is one maybe more growth oriented this year at least than the other, or what?
Well, we see COVID has done a lot of unique things, right? So what we find is that many people are now working from home where they didn't before, and then they're now paying more attention to their home comfort systems than maybe what they did before. And then what we're also finding is that how something was originally designed is no longer how it's being used. So home comfort in and of itself, spot heating and cooling, efficiency is now all on top of mind for a consumer, and really a ducted ductless or a mini split product gives you that zoning capability right out of the box, and it also gives you extremely high efficiency. So I mean, we have product that'll take you up to 33 SEER, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, but it's very high SEER. So the residential side is doing very, very well for us, and what we're also finding too is this terminology that we talk about, strategic electrification. So this has been going on really since the 80s, but it's a move from dependence on foreign fuel sources. So it's incentives in rebate form back to consumers to move off of a fossil fuel, or at least to consider options to a fossil fuel. So now we see the advent of the heat pump coming in. Certainly we're all heat pumps. So the last couple of years have been pretty exciting on the residential market, demand both from the consumer, but then also the incentives from the utility companies and our federal government to drive the sales of heat pumps. So it's an exciting part of the business to be involved in right now.
And those rebates and credits and whatnot, they're all continuing for the year ahead? And
yeah, very much so, very much so. And in fact, some states are obviously more aggressive than others, but as you look around, the incentives are there, the plans are for them to be there for some time, and to be honest with you, I don't know that in any time soon we're going to see a backing off of that. You know, we've got a lot of changes in the industry coming. We've got SEER 2 coming. We've got changes in refrigerant. So I think the addition of incentives and rebates are going to continue to be a very, very important part of our business.
Good, good. We've talked a lot about residential. Obviously it makes sense. If I'm working from home, hey, this place is kind of cold or a little hot.
Yes.
It's noticeable. What about commercial? What's the bright spots for the commercial market?
Well, the commercial side, again, we're expanding out our product line, taking us up to 16-ton units, and then be able to combine them up to 36-ton capability. So we're going even more full force into the commercial side of the business. But then you also get a lot more flexibility and choice on your indoor units. So we're seeing some interesting things happening on the control side of the business. We've created a relationship with Tritium, so now that gives us with the Niagara Jace controller, so that gives us the ability to work down the building automation and control side of that. They're a great partner for us. So now tying that into a much bigger scale on the HVAC side is going to be a very important part of our business.
I'm not so sure I know what Tritium does. What kind of company is that?
So they're an open protocol building management system. In simplicity, yes. So what you can do is bring a lot of different types of product into that platform, and that platform is going to give you the ability to monitor and develop different resources out of that. So it's a great product.
Okay. Well, that makes me think of my next question about how do you control these units, these products? What are the trends that you see in terms of making them operate the best way that they can?
Yeah, so we know that out of the box, an inverter-driven heat pump is incredibly efficient by itself. So you could, if you wanted to, you could set it and forget it. We know that it works like a cruise control on a car, where it's going to ramp up and ramp down based on target temperatures and ambient temperatures outside, and we know that it'll do that all by itself, but as consumers, we're not always pleased with that, right? We want to do some things a little bit different. So really all of our products are capable of using a wireless remote control, doing a wired control. We have the ability to tie that into a Wi-Fi base, and then we also have the ability to tie that into a Google or Alexa, so if you want to lay it on your couch and yell at your air conditioning to turn up and down, you can do that as well. So all of those controls are capable now, and every consumer wants something a little bit different.
Okay, good, good. Now, my readers are contractors. Obviously, we also publish magazines for the wholesaler and engineering community.
Yep.
But let's talk about contractors for a second. What kind of resources do you have to get the contractors involved with the sale and installation and service of these lines?
Well, our contractor relationships are the most important ones that we have. So we want to do a couple of different things. What we want to do is be able to create a resource base that our installing contractors can get the training that they need. So we pride ourselves on our training. That starts with technical training, so that starts with application, make sure it's applied in the right spot, given a chance to work, and work correctly, so the expectations are there, but then also work through the installation side, and then into troubleshooting, and then to planned maintenance as well. We have recently started rolling into more of sales side of that, so working with some in-home selling systems, and we're still in the developmental stage there to be able to make that work. We also know that it's important for us to provide the resources to the contractors. So when you're out there, do you have an option for some financing? So not every consumer has the money in their pocket. Most consumers don't think about their home comfort system until it doesn't work anymore, and not everybody accrues for that type of fund. So we have to make sure that we have a tool for our partners to be able to do that. We also recognize our contractors through our elite contractor program on the ductless side and our premier contractor program on the unitary side. So a contractor that gets a minimum level of training, has a minimum level of installation, so a little time in the saddle, a little book work so that they understand it. And then from that point, we have a promotable warranty. We have special programs that we run just for that group, because you should take care of your best partners, right? Not everybody should be treated equally. So you should take care of those that that do the job correctly, and we recognize that. And then we have some backside stuff in there to help the contractor drive his business and maintain some margin to be able to do it as well.
Good, good. What about wholesalers, distributors, and the engineering community? Is there something you want to add for those guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our backbone of our business certainly is the installing contractor, but Fujitsu would be not who we are today without the support of our distribution. So we look for our distribution to have adequate inventory, and they do, to not only stock equipment, but also parts, but then also engage in training. So the best value that a contractor can have from a distributor is when they walk in the door or call in and they get a knowledgeable person on the other end that is the Fujitsu authority locally. We offer TSA training, so technical service advisors. We have basically boot camps, so our distributors will invest in the resources of their people to send them our camp, so that we can have local resources in addition to our resources to be able to support the contractor.
TSA, I heard you right.
Yep.
Tell me more about that.
So technical service advisors, so we have a program, was started by our technical service department, to where we reached out to distribution. Distribution said to us, we want to be able to be a great resource for our contractor, but you need to put together a program to coach our people up so that we can have the know-how, but also have the authority. So when we need to make a call out in the marketplace, we need to do what's right for the contractor, we need to do what's right for the consumer, coach us up to get us to that ability to be able to do it. So we send them off to a boot camp. It's a week, once a year, and we we take stuff apart, and if you want to have lunch, you got to make it work. So yeah.
Good. So the year is just kind of beginning. What can we expect from Fujitsu for the year ahead?
Well, it's going to be an exciting year, so I don't see demand slowing down. And in fact, based on the flow and the volume of orders that we're getting in, and then the inquiries we're getting through distribution, and also for requests for training, I don't see this year slowing down. It will at some point. I'm not sure that this is a sustainable level that we can be at for a prolonged period of time, but I think this is a time when our best practices really have to be defined. So not only as a manufacturer, but a distributor, but also a contractor, is really define your best practices. Leads are coming in very solidly for everybody, and it's the ability to grow your business, but also grow it smart for when times are going to get lean. So now's a really good time to focus on your business and not necessarily in your business.
Good, good. Well, Dennis, let's wrap things up. Any last words of wisdom before we part ways here?
Well, ours is, just look at all the, keep trained on what's happening out in the marketplace. So our industry is going to see some pretty significant changes over the next couple years. And that's going to be SEER changes, and that's also going to be refrigerant changes. And refrigerant changes is going to be the big one. Okay. There's some regulations we have to make sure we're conscious of. And if I'm speaking to the installing and the contractor side of the business, find a really good distributor that's got their hands around this, that they're working with the right manufacturer so the information's flowing into the marketplace so that you got the education you need on what's happening with code, what's happening with efficiency. They've thought about the transition of old product to new product, and they've also got the right product coming in that can move you through 25 and beyond. So find a really good partner. That's the best thing you can do in the next 12 to 18 months.
Good. Well, good words. Well, listen, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Before we let you go, can you tell us the booth number so people can stop by and see you?
Yeah, absolutely. We are located in 3934. 3934. So we're not all that far right down through here.
C3934, yeah?
C3934. So if you get a chance, stop by. And we've got plenty of staff in there. I'd be happy to talk to you about what we have there.
Very good. Well, thanks again for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
Perfect. Thank you. We're going to take a short break and get ready for our next interview, and we'll see everybody soon.